Welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. Here's your weekly dose of inspiration to build a creative habit, one drawing at a time. Brought to you by Sketchbook School. Hi! Drawing people is an endlessly interesting challenge. We see people around us all the time, yet it is very hard to draw them in the right proportion, capture gestures and body language. And what about perspective and foreshortening? Okay, so I just kicked off my shoes, and actually that made me think a lot of people have problems drawing shoes or feet when on someone's, when drawing people. So let's have a look at these shoes actually, because if I put them down like this, it actually looks the way it would look if people are standing, right? It would be a position like this. And then often we see it from a bit from above, and maybe also a little foreshortened. You know, if I put the camera down here, we can see a lot of foreshortening. But if we put it a little bit more up, this is more how we would see it, only there would be legs in there and feet in there. But let's have a really good look at these shoes. And shoes are always hard because they are this shape, they are foreshortened, there are laces in there, details. So how do you actually draw them without getting too caught up in details? That's what I want to take a look at today. This is good. We have foreshortening, we have difference in length, difference in what's in front and what's in the back. Okay, let's work with this. I'm using a brush pen just because that way I won't be getting into details. Okay, so what I'm looking at is not the shoes, but I am actually looking at the blue-gray background the shoes are on, and I'm going to capture that. So instead of looking at the shape and at the foreshortened and in perspective bits and pieces, I am actually looking at what's around it. So I'm not looking at the shape of the shoes, I'm looking at the shape of the floor. And I'm drawing the shape of the floor, filtering out that whole shoe part. And as I go, I try to find landmarks like this curve. Where does it line up with another curve on the other side? And that way I try to gently go through the full shape following my eyes as I go through them. And then I see a peep here of that blue background, and I actually drew the whole thing around. I drew the background. This gives me a fantastic frame to work in. I haven't thought about this shoe is more to the front, so it's bigger. This one seems a little bit foreshortened. It's in a bit of a strange angle. I see all those, I see the sole and the little dots from the brogues. I haven't thought about that at all. Now I actually can get in and start adding the details. And again, I will be looking for landmarks now. I am looking at the shoes, but still I'm trying to see the bigger shapes and kind of forget about I am drawing laces, I am drawing the zipper. I'm just trying to see where certain lines meet each other, without really thinking about what I am drawing. And you need to take your time. You need to take your time to find all the shapes and to figure out landmarks, the bits where shapes touch each other, meet each other. Some of the things you can't really see because they are very much in the shadow. Don't start guessing, just draw whatever you see, not what you think you see or what you think you know. I'm starting to get really confused about the laces, and I also was confused on the left boot, and actually I am slowing down a lot, which is not necessary because everybody will understand that if I do make like a gesture of lines, these are laces. So I'm going to let that go now. You can do this with any pen, of course, and if you like, you can also add a little bit of shading by cross-hatching or perhaps using a lighter gray. Again, look at what you see and don't look at what you think makes sense. Because sometimes what you see doesn't make sense at all in your head, but it is actually in front of you. So just trust your eyes and follow what you see. Keep it light, don't overwork it. It's really about the shape. And of course, because this is done with such a fat pen, I don't want to get into too much shading because it would become confusing and then I would also see a lot of my mistakes. And I don't want to emphasize on those at all. And those are my brogues. Not perfect, but I definitely caught the shoe shape and I also caught the foreshortening without really thinking about it, which is really important. If you think about it, it becomes so much harder. And if you just distract your mind from labeling things and thinking about laces and zippers and soles and things like that, it becomes so complicated, especially if you want to draw this, you want to draw feet while you are drawing someone who stands. So you need to be kind of quick, but to practice, slow down. Slowing down and practicing a lot will help you gain confidence with each drawing that you make. Embrace wonkiness and don't take things too serious. It's just a drawing. Have fun and please share what you make using the hashtag DTT in action. I would really love to see what you make. Also, don't forget to sign up for the weekly Draw Tip Tuesday newsletter. I'll send you an email each week as soon as the new Draw Tip Tuesday video is published. And I'll see you next week. Bye.